Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel, Bumblebee Corner. My name is Lisa, and we are doing a Flippin' Frenzy today. So a bunch of us in Sonnet's creative membership group, we got together and we sent each other packages with things that we thrifted that was in our stash. Mine came from Rachel at Stella Rose Boutique Company, so make sure you check hers out. And we are doing premiere videos, which means you can interact with us and talk to us through the chat as you are watching our videos. So you're going to want to stay tuned to see all the videos of all these amazing creators. I can't see what everybody does. I got a wood bowl, a candlestick. You can see these little yogurt containers. I got some spindles. And she also sent me some really great paints. So let's get started. All right, for project 1, I am going to use the candlestick and the little wood bowl. And I'm going to paint both of these with paints from Alchemy. It's Alchemy by Fusion, and it's the color terracotta. And this is one of the paints that Rachel from Stella Rose Boutique sent me. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give this a coat, and then I'm going to let it dry completely, and then I'll come back and give it another coat. And I'll do the same with the bowl. And as you can see, I have my little helper there. I swear, she leaves me alone, and then every time I start painting, she has to jump up just to see what I'm doing and knock everything over. So let me go ahead and get these 2 pieces painted, and then we'll come back and we'll move on.
Wouldn't lie to you, doesn't matter what I do. She's got a hold on me. She knows how to drive a truck, but she lets me pick her up when we're going dancing. My heart stops beating when my headlights shining on her. She's my country girl. I couldn't tell you what she's doing with me. She's so damn out of my league. She's a little bit crazy on the weekends, dancing in her red dress, and I love the way she looks in my eyes, and I'm feeling like...
What are you guys thinking of this color so far? I love it. And I believe the Alchemy Paint by Fusion, I believe this is their chalk paint line. So this will need a sealer, like the regular Fusion line has a built-in sealer. So this will need to be sealed. So I'm just going to kind of finish up this second coat. And then I will come back and we'll put these 2 pieces together. All right, so now I want to put these 2 together to kind of like make a riser. So I'm going to use the E6000 glue, and I'm kind of thinking I probably should have glued these together before I painted them, because I think maybe the wood on wood, it's supposed to hold better, but we'll see how it works out. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to put some of the E6000 glue on here. If I can get it out of the tube. So I just put some little dabs all the way around, and then I'm just going to apply it to the center of the bottom of the wood bowl. I'm just going to kind of put it on there, and then I'm going to let that sit so that it dries really well. I'm just going to kind of measure it out to make sure I have it even and close to in the center. And I'm going to let it dry, and I'll be back. And you know how much I love the distress look, so I'm just taking a wet wipe and I am going to just kind of go around the edges and then any raised area, and then just randomly here and there, and I'm going to distress it back just until I get the desired look that I'm looking for.
Wouldn't lie to you, doesn't matter what I do. She's got a hold on me. She knows how to drive a truck, but she lets me pick her up when we're going dancing. My heart stops beating when my head...
And finally, I am giving it a coat of Big Top from DIY. which is my go-to top coat. So I'm just going to go ahead and give this one coat, and then I'm going to let it dry completely, and then we will come back and we'll get it styled up. What do you think, guys? How do you think this is turning out? And I'd also like to know what you would use this for. You'll see how I styled it in just a few seconds, but I would love to have different ideas, especially like for the fall. What would you use this for? I mean, you could use it for maybe just putting some Halloween candy in there. You could put some little pumpkins in there. Let me know what you would use it for. So let me get this finished and let it dry, and then I'll show you how I used it.
Wouldn't lie to you, doesn't matter what I do. She's got a hold on me. She knows how to drive a truck, but she lets me pick her up.
So here's project 2. This one is super simple. So I got this great big jar. I want to say it's a little bit bigger than a quart. So I'm not sure the size of it, but it's a good size jar. And all I'm going to do with this one is I am adding a transfer. So I just kind of went into my stash of transfers, and I'm not even sure what book this came out of. Mine are just all my scrap pieces are just kind of, and I should keep them all together. Maybe start putting them in like plastic baggies, Ziploc bags. But I usually just throw them in a bin I have next to my workspace. But I'm just taking the transfer tool once I laid it down where I want it. And I'm just going to rub all over and kind of lift. I always lift as I go, so that way I can see what's adhering. And if a piece stays on the vellum, I just lay it back down and rub it until it releases. And I did not seal this. I just don't like the way the big top or whatever looks. So if you have a good sealer to use on glass like this, let me know.
Wouldn't lie to you, doesn't matter what I do. She's got a hold on me. She knows how to drive a truck.
And now we are on to project 3, which I thought this was really cool. I love little planters like this. So I am it's going to be real similar in color to what this is. So I'm just kind of going to give it a refresh. It's a little update. So I'm using DIY's. This is letterpress gray. I kind of wanted it to have kind of that cement look, kind of similar to what it is originally. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to give this 2 coats. And then like always, I let it dry thoroughly in between coats. I love this gray. This is probably one of my favorite grays. So let me go ahead and I'm just going to finish this up. And then we'll come back and move on to the next step. And to finish this project off, I'm just going to go over the whole entire planter with white wax. So I just go ahead with my brush and I just coat the whole entire planter. And then I'm going to go back with a dry paper towel. And I always use 2. I use one to hang on to the project. I don't like to have my fingerprints and stuff in it. So when I do that, I just kind of hold on to it with one hand, and then the other hand I just wipe all the excess wax back. And it just kind of gives it that cement look. I kind of like how that look is. And then I display it with, I just have some greenery in it. But I think this would be great for, like at Christmas time, you could put like one of those trees in it that you buy like at Hobby Lobby. Or you could put, like, if you had a large, it would have to be a pretty large, like, bottle brush tree. You could use that. Just so many different options. And then, obviously, for fall, you could just use, like, fall greenery. So this is something, too, that you could use kind of year-round. So tell me what you think of this, or if you think I should have, maybe painted a different color. But I'm really loving the gray because I do like that cement look. I think it's universal. You can use it for so many different things. So let me finish this up and then I'll show you the final project.
Wouldn't lie to you, doesn't matter what I do. She's got a hold on me. She knows how to drive a truck, but she lets me pick her up.
So here's project 4. I could not get my creative juices running for this. My first thought was to make photo holders. So I was going to take a piece of wood, drill a hole, glue the skinny end in there, and then the other end, I was going to cut them in half. The other end, I was going to drill a teeny tiny hole, stick a piece of wire in there and coil it, and then use it just as a, like where you could stick a little photo or postcard or something in there. But I don't know. So in the end, I just ended up painting them. They're just going to be a shelf sitter. I figured I can always change it down the road if I decide to. So I'm using the Alchemy by Fusion. I'm using the terracotta color. I believe I did that on 2 of them. Then the other color I'm using is Fusion. It's called Newell, Newell. It's just a really pretty, kind of like green, maybe bluish green. Kind of looks maybe even a little bit of gray in there. Super pretty. So I'm going to go ahead and get these painted. And then I am going to just tie them with some lace. And I forgot to videotape that. I didn't hit the button. So I'm going to do that, and then I will show you the final project.
So now I say to him, oh, Chad, this is what the podcast is going to be about. I want to talk about...
All right, so here is my 5th and final project of the day. So these were the little yogurt jars, and I removed all the labels and removed all the sticky stuff. I use lemon oil. I love essential oils, so I have the lemon, and I just use that, and it takes the sticky, all the gooey right off. So that first one I painted, that was the Fusion Newell, Newell. And then this one is the Alchemy by Fusion, the terracotta color. So I'm going to get this painted. And then the last color I decided to use was the Alchemy by Fusion in the color Harvest. So I think these are all really great fall colors. They go together really well. So I'm going to go ahead, let me get these 3 painted. I do end up doing 2 coats and then with a little bit of touch up. So let's say 2.5 coats just to get them all covered. So let me go ahead and get them painted and I'll be right back. So then I decided just to add a little transfer to each of them. So I dug through my stash and I found these little mushrooms. I thought they were super cute. So I just found 3 of them. I cut them out and then I'm just going to apply them using that transfer stick. Same thing. I just kind of rub all over and then just peel up a corner. And I did seal all of these jars with the big top before I did this. And then the key is you want to make sure that sealer dries completely. Otherwise, you're going to end up pulling up paint. And then you have a mess. So just make sure whatever you're applying the transfers to, if it's like the chalk paint, you want to make sure you apply a sealer. But even if it's the Fusion one step, just make sure it's completely dry. So I'm just going to go ahead through to all 3 of these and just kind of apply. And then I just used kind of my finger to burnish that in to make sure everything's laid down. Just trying to decide which one to put on which jar. So let me go ahead and get these applied. So here I'm just applying a sealer, which I use DIY's Big Top. Just you want to make sure you seal that transfer in. And then I just realized I forgot to hit record. So once these were dry, I added a little piece of green floral foam into each one. And I didn't glue it down because I want to be able to switch it out as the seasons go, or whoever gets these can switch it out. And then I just added a little bit of Spanish moss on top of that and just had some greenery in my stash. So I just kind of cut little pieces and poked them in there. So these, I think they look great if you style them all together, or you could separate them however you want. So let me finish this up and then I will show you how I styled them.
Wouldn't lie to you, doesn't matter what I do. She's got a hold on me. She knows how to drive a truck, but she let.
What do you think, guys? Let me know in the comments which one was your favorite. I think I liked project number 1, like the riser. I think that I really like how that turned out. But I did like just that jar with the transfer. Really simple upcycle. Just kind of gave it a new look, and it would be great for so many projects, or so many uses, I guess is what I want to say. I still have a bunch of paints to use that she sent me. I have 3 of these milk paints, so I'm excited. This is Cheshire, really pretty, like mint green. These are the milk paints. Bluebird and Wildflower, really pretty pink. So I'm excited to use those in future projects. She outdid herself. So anyway, I think that's it for me. Make sure you check out the other creators. We have a really great lineup. You're not going to want to miss them. And if you do miss them, make sure you go back to watch them. And then as always, if you love this type of content, please hit the subscribe button and give me a thumbs up. And I will see you next time. Bye, guys.
Wouldn't lie to you, doesn't matter what I do.